Diabetics. Never eat oatmeal like this. 5 dangerous mistakes. If you're living with diabetes or prediabetes, chances are you've been told that oatmeal is a great breakfast option. And it's true. Oatmeal can be incredibly nutritious. But like so many things in life, it's not just what you eat, it's how you eat it. For people managing blood sugar, oatmeal can be either a powerful ally or a silent saboteur. That's why in this video, I want to walk you through 5 common mistakes that many people make when eating oatmeal. Mistakes that can quietly push your blood sugar higher, leave you feeling drained, and make it harder to reach your health goals. These are simple things, often overlooked, but they make a big difference. And once you know what to watch out for, you'll be able to enjoy oatmeal with more confidence and better results. But first, let's take a moment to understand what makes oatmeal so special in the first place, because it truly does offer some remarkable health benefits, especially for people with diabetes. Oatmeal is a whole grain, rich in complex carbohydrates, and packed with fiber, particularly a type of soluble fiber known as beta-glucans. These beta-glucans are the real heroes when it comes to supporting healthy blood sugar levels. They slow down the absorption of glucose in the digestive tract, which helps prevent sharp spikes in blood sugar after meals. That slow and steady release of energy is exactly what we want when managing diabetes. Oats also contain a good amount of protein and healthy fats. Not a lot, but enough to add balance to your meal. And they're loaded with essential nutrients like magnesium, which plays a key role in improving insulin sensitivity, as well as B vitamins that support energy metabolism. Some varieties of oats, especially steel-cut and whole oat groats, even contain small amounts of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which are important for heart health, a major concern for people with diabetes. On top of that, oats are rich in antioxidants and plant compounds with anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds, including avenanthramides, help protect your cells, reduce oxidative stress, and support your body's natural ability to manage insulin. So yes, oatmeal, in its natural, unprocessed form, can absolutely be part of a healthy diet for someone with diabetes. The key is knowing how to prepare it, how to portion it, and what to avoid. Because when it's done wrong, oatmeal can have the opposite effect, spiking your blood sugar and leaving you wondering what went wrong. Let's talk about those mistakes so you can avoid them and get the most out of this powerful food. Mistake 1. Eating too much oatmeal at once. Portion control is one of the most overlooked but important habits for people managing diabetes, and oatmeal is no exception. Just because a food is labeled healthy doesn't mean it's free from impact, especially when it comes to carbohydrates. Oats are considered a complex carb, yes, but they still raise blood sugar levels, particularly when eaten in large amounts. A typical serving size of dry oats is just 1/3 to half a cup, which might look small in the bowl, but it expands significantly when cooked. That modest-looking bowl of oatmeal may actually contain more carbs than you think, especially when combined with milk, fruit, or sweeteners. What many people don't realize is that eating a large portion of oatmeal, especially first thing in the morning, can set the tone for unstable blood sugar throughout the day. Breakfast plays a powerful role in determining how your glucose levels respond to meals later on. A spike in the morning can lead to reactive drops and cravings later, a roller coaster that's tough to control. And for older adults, this instability can be even more pronounced. Our metabolism tends to slow with age, and insulin sensitivity can naturally decline, meaning we become more vulnerable to post-meal spikes, even from foods we previously tolerated well. Here's something you may find interesting. In diabetes education programs, oatmeal is often compared to bread because their carbohydrate content per serving is nearly identical. 1/3 of a cup of dry oats has around 15 grams of carbohydrates, the same as a slice of regular bread. The difference lies in how those carbs behave in your body. Thanks to the fiber in oats, glucose enters your bloodstream more gradually, but only if you stick to reasonable portions. Eating double or triple the serving, thinking it's a healthy choice, can quickly erase those benefits. So, the next time you prepare oatmeal, think quality over quantity. A smaller, balanced bowl can do far more for your health than a heaping one. Mistake 2. Choosing the wrong type of oatmeal. Not all oatmeal is created equal. In fact, the type of oats you choose can have a significant impact on your blood sugar levels. Steel-cut oats, for example, are the least processed variety and take the longest to cook, which also means they digest more slowly and cause a more gradual rise in blood sugar. On the other end of the spectrum, you'll find instant oats, the kind that come in little flavored packets and cook in a minute or less. These oats are heavily processed, pre-cooked, and often ground into finer particles, which speeds up digestion and can cause your glucose levels to spike rapidly, especially if they include added sugars or artificial flavorings. One of the biggest traps people fall into is assuming that anything labeled oatmeal is inherently good for you. Food marketing often plays on this perception, highlighting the presence of oats while downplaying what else is inside. Instant oatmeal packets can contain a surprising amount of added sugars, sodium, and chemical preservatives. Some even include ingredients like corn syrup solids or artificial sweeteners that can irritate your gut or affect your insulin sensitivity over time. If you're managing diabetes, these hidden additives can completely counteract the natural benefits of oats. And unfortunately, those convenient options are the ones most people reach for when time is tight in the morning. A simple tip: take a moment to read the nutrition label. If you're eating oatmeal that cooks in under 2 minutes and has a long list of ingredients, it's likely not the best choice. Look for labels that say whole grain oats or steel-cut oats as the first and only ingredient. As a bonus curiosity, the slower your oats take to cook, the lower their glycemic index tends to be. That means your body takes longer to break them down, keeping your energy steady and your appetite in check. Think of it this way: good things take time, and in the case of oatmeal, patience truly pays off for your health. Mistake 3: believing that all oat-based products are healthy. It's easy to be misled by health claims on packaging, especially when a product proudly displays the word oat in its name. Granola bars, oat cookies, breakfast cereals, and even oat-based drinks often present themselves as smart choices for people trying to eat clean or manage their blood sugar. But the truth is, many of these products are far from the wholesome image they portray. They're frequently packed with added sugars, artificial sweeteners, unhealthy fats, or refined grains. Even if oats are listed as a main ingredient, they're often drowned out by high glycemic syrups, honey, or chocolate chips, turning what should be a slow-digesting grain into a dessert in disguise. One common example is granola. While it's often marketed as a natural, fiber-rich food, many commercial granolas are essentially clusters of sugar, oil, and oats. Just half a cup of some brands can contain over 20 grams of sugar. That's 5 teaspoons. That's more than what's recommended for an entire day, especially for people with insulin resistance. And let's not forget oat cookies or oat muffins, which sound healthy but can behave more like pastries in your bloodstream. Even oat milk, which is becoming increasingly popular as a dairy alternative, may have added sugars unless specifically labeled unsweetened. These sneaky sources can slowly undermine your progress without you even noticing. It's worth remembering that food companies are in the business of selling, not necessarily in the business of keeping your blood sugar in check. That means it's up to you to be your own health detective. Always check the ingredients list and look for words like evaporated cane juice, brown rice syrup, or organic sweetener. They're all just sugar in disguise. A good rule of thumb: the fewer the ingredients, the better. If you're craving something sweet and oat-based, try making your own snack at home where you control what goes in. That way, you get all the benefits of oats without the blood sugar sabotage. Mistake 4: combining oatmeal with too many high-carb ingredients. One of the most common oatmeal mistakes people make is what they add to it. While oats themselves are already a source of carbohydrates, many folks unknowingly layer on more carbs by mixing in high glycemic toppings like bananas, raisins, honey, maple syrup, or even sweetened yogurt. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that adding fruit and natural sweeteners is always a healthy choice. But when you combine these with an already carbohydrate-rich base like oatmeal, the result is often a blood sugar spike that defeats the purpose of having a balanced meal. Even foods considered natural can still raise glucose if they're not portioned or combined wisely. Take bananas, for example. While they're rich in potassium and fiber, Ripe bananas have a high glycemic index and release sugar into your bloodstream very quickly, especially when blended into a smoothie or sliced on top of warm oats. Add a drizzle of honey or some sweetened almond milk, and suddenly, your healthy breakfast is turned into a sugar bomb. The same goes for dried fruits like raisins or dates. Because they've had the water removed, their sugars are more concentrated. Just a handful can add 15 to 20 grams of carbs without any of the volume or satisfaction. The combination of fast-digesting carbs, even from natural sources, can be especially risky in the morning when insulin sensitivity is already lower in many older adults. So what's the smarter approach? Instead of piling on carbs, try building a more balanced bowl by adding healthy fats and proteins that slow digestion and support more stable energy. Take a tablespoon of almond butter, a handful of walnuts, chia seeds, or a spoonful of unsweetened Greek yogurt. These additions not only enhance flavor and texture, but also help blunt the glucose response, making oatmeal a safer and more satisfying meal. A fun fact? Cinnamon isn't just tasty. It may help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce blood sugar levels when used regularly. So, sprinkle some on top and enjoy your bowl with confidence. Mistake 5. Eating oatmeal by itself, especially on an empty stomach. Many people like to keep breakfast simple, and there's nothing wrong with that, unless you're starting your day with a bowl of plain oatmeal and nothing else. While oats contain some fiber and a bit of protein and fat, they're still primarily a source of carbohydrates, over 60% of their composition. To be exact, eating oatmeal alone, especially first thing in the morning when your stomach is empty, can lead to a rapid rise in blood sugar. And for people with diabetes or prediabetes, this sets the stage for an energy crash later in the day, along with increased hunger, brain fog, and irritability. The science behind this is fairly straightforward. When you consume carbohydrates without any buffer, like fat or protein, your body digests them faster. This quick digestion causes glucose to flood into your bloodstream, forcing your pancreas to release insulin rapidly in an attempt to manage the spike. But in individuals with insulin resistance, this system doesn't work as efficiently. The result? A sharp rise in blood sugar, followed by a sudden drop. That post-breakfast crash can leave you reaching for snacks before lunchtime, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Over time, repeated blood sugar fluctuations contribute to fatigue, weight gain, and inflammation. A better approach is to think of oatmeal as one part of a balanced meal, not the whole meal itself. Pairing it with eggs, avocado, or a small serving of nuts can dramatically change how your body processes it. Even the order in which you eat your food matters. Studies suggest that eating protein and fat before carbohydrates can lead to lower post-meal glucose levels. So if you're having eggs and oatmeal for breakfast, consider starting with the eggs, then slowly moving to the oats. This small shift in habit can make a noticeable difference. It's all about working with your body's rhythms, not against them. And the good news is, it's never too late to start making these changes. Oatmeal can absolutely be part of a healthy diet for people with diabetes, but only when it's used the right way. As you've seen, something as simple as portion size, oat type, or a few extra toppings can completely change how your body reacts. The good news is that these are all things you can control. By making just a few small changes, choosing the right oats, keeping portions reasonable, adding protein and healthy fats, you can enjoy the comfort of oatmeal without putting your blood sugar at risk. Remember, your food choices aren't just about what's healthy in general. They're about what's healthy for you. Managing diabetes isn't about cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about learning how to work with your body, not against it. And when you understand how different foods affect your blood sugar, you're in a much stronger position to feel better, have more energy, and take charge of your long-term health. And one important note before we wrap up. If you're thinking about making big changes to your diet, especially if you take medication for diabetes or other health conditions, make sure to speak with your doctor or a registered dietitian first. Every person's body is different, and professional guidance can help you make the safest and most effective choices for your individual needs. If you found this information helpful, I hope you'll join us again here on the Balance Health channel. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and remember, It's the small, consistent steps that lead to lasting change.